Hi. Today we are continuing our latest links series with new information that I collected since our last episode. Today is April 28, 2025. We are going to talk today about following subjects. I have 3 new paintings. We are going to talk about double-headed eagle history, Garuda, celestial bird, about Atlantis and Lemuria. We are going to talk about a few natural therapies that I collected since our last episode, lymph therapy, what is honey and cinnamon is good for, a cancer treatment therapy, natural remedy, anti-inflammatory Receipt, Detoxifiant Receipt, Rhododendron Leaves, the healing property of magnetism, time travel, anti-gravity with David Wilcock, books that I finished reading, that I'm reading now, Mystery of Egypt, The First Tunnel by Radu Cynnamar. And Valiant Thor's Book of Garuda, The Celestial Bird, Two Men on Earth by Valiant Thor, Disclosure Project Intelligence Archive, and Tori Say. So let's start sharing the screen. Okay. Zoom meeting. So this is my first painting since our last episode. Then I have flower and butterfly. This is 40 by 50 centimeter acrylic painting. And I have a study, an eye. It's just a little painting. It took a while to paint, but yeah. Now let's start with the history of double-headed eagle. Double-headed eagle is a symbol and the coat of arms of country around the world. One of the earliest double-headed eagle is available in West Asia, Ubaid, dating 2600 2400 BC. Is drawn over a copper wood. Double-headed eagle we have in Sumerian literature. We had a double eagle symbol in Sphinx Gate, Alka Uyuk, Turkey, 1400 BC. Then we had the double eagle in Sumerian literature. The excavation at Taxila have revealed the existence of the cult of double-headed eagle, at least in the 1st century of the Christian era. Double-headed eagle, it's found its way in South Asia, became popular as Ganda Peruda. It's associated with a few South Indian dynasties. Garuda Beruda is represented as a double-headed eagle in the Virabhadra temple, Keldali. At one point in India, this double-headed eagle is represented as with eagle double head and the human body. What was the function? The function of Berunda, according to the text, is to bury the Hyperborean immortals that live. Were considered immortals because they have very long lives, not because they are immortal. They live 10,000 to 1,000 years. Beruda have long beaks and body and take the corpses of northern Kurus and bury them in caves. We have a story about the double-headed eagle in city of Langash. The giant bird was called Imdugud or Imjig, and it was associated with the chief god called Ningsiru, who was a war god. Then we go again. This is a depiction of Ninurta, known as Ningishru, proeminent Mesopotamian god associated with war and agriculture. He was the son chief of God Enlil, and his main cult center in Sumer was a temple in Nippur. We have another story about Vishnu and Garuda. Vishnu, it's a god in Indian culture, and Garuda was his mythological bird used as his vehicle. Double-headed eagles have been found on dating 3000 BC in Langash, and they appear on a cylinder seal. I don't know if I can make it larger. This is cylinder seal with a double-headed eagle that appear on in Mesopotamia. Then we have double-headed eagle in Sumerian, in the Kish Chronicle, in the heart of Cappadocian Ur, the old capital of Hittite Empire. So Hittite Empire also had knowledge of this double-headed eagle. This is a painting of a double-headed eagle dating 1800 BC, corresponding to Hittite Empire. In Russia, we also have a coat of arms, double-headed eagle. This image is from Moscow. It's coat of arms of Moscow. Then we go to the Roman Empire that also uses double-headed eagle as a coat of arms. So this image from Russia is of clinked rattle with motif of double-headed eagle, Northwest Coast art. Then Imperial Russia medallion represented by Baranovskita in 1804. So double-headed eagle existed in, was continued as a coat of arms. Then the badge of Saint Andrew has a double-headed eagle. Saint Andrew is this cross, and we see double-headed eagle. Then we had Western Europe has been reached by double-headed eagle symbol in Middle Ages. Holy Roman Empire had a double eagle seal. Medieval German emperors adopted the eagle for their design as successors of the Roman Empire. If you go in Vienna, in the center of Vienna, in top of the main buildings is this double-headed eagle. In top of a lot of building. Dungiklai family. It's not very clear. Double-headed eagle is also the emblem of the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. Okay. Let's go to our next subject, Garuda, the celestial bird. So Indian mythology, religion, culture refers to Garuda. This is Garuda. So you can see it's represented with head of eagle and body of a human. And above is Vishnu. Vishnu was or is considered to be a god in Indian culture, having 4 arms, 1, 2, 3 forms. Garuda, it's a bird that it's able to shapeshift, to change the appearance to become invisible. It's also helping the god Vishnu in wars. Has a mother. Okay, let's read a little bit. It's we found about Garuda in Mahabharata text. Has the Garuda has the power to change his form at will. Has served Vishnu as vehicle. Sometimes is representing as standing or kneeling side by side of Vishnu. Sanskrit texts describe Garuda as a vehicle of Vishnu. So it's a he. Garuda, it's a male. It's returning from Indralika, carrying the nectar pot called Amitra Gata, that is nectar giving everlasting life or immortality. Garuda was the son of Vinyata, the mother, and Kasipa, the father. He had a brother called Aruna, and the brother was a serpent king. Vishnu is a deity represented in Indian sculpture, having 4 hands, and Vishnu was reincarnated at Krishna. Now, Krishna is a name of a deity from which the Christianity is derived. So somebody went to India, found about the Krishna cult, and the person was from Greece and brought Christ. So the Christianity name is a name similar with Krishna, the Indian god Krishna. Just do the research and you'll see. Now we have a video, a very interesting video about Atlantis and Lemuria. This is a little compilation of a presentation done by Mr. Vela, and I added pictures from internet to confirm that at least part of the information that he's presenting is confirmed from other sources. Let's listen. About the ancient history of the human race, explained by Mr. Vela. Harald Vela.
That most of the humans incarnating there actually were guest souls from planets who already self-destructed. So they lost their civilizations, and on soul level they got the permit to read. But they already had like traumatized previous lives, so the culture was much more vulnerable to restaging of trauma, to archonic influence. And they had built like a high-tech culture based on crystal technologies. The main artifacts we still have from that time are the arks. The Ark of the Covenant, there's an Irish Ark of the Covenant, there was the Ark of Gabriel. Found in Saudi Arabia 1 or 2 years ago, deployed by Russia to the Antarctic bases. So these are basically crystal technologies that are connecting technology with consciousness fields. So this is one part. The other part is that we had the Lemurian cultures that were earth-based, with earth humans, which means souls that had their first inclinations on this planet. And they had a culture that was very in one piece, very holy, in the best sense of the word. And they were not vulnerable at that time to archonic consciousness and influence. They had like everything in order in a way it should have been. And the story that developed was that actually the Atlantean high priests wanted to go to war with Lemuria to conquer it, but it was so peaceful that they couldn't do it with their own people because nobody is just attacking a defenseless country. So there was an intrigue to weaponize Lemuria. That is one part of the story. So this is actually the story of Adam and Eve. Let's take Adam as the king of Lemuria, Sophia as the queen of Lemuria, and then the Atlantean high priests decided to create an artificial being called Eve that should be the perfect sexual match for Adam. And went into a story of, okay, let's tell him that with all the presence of Atlantean troops in the Lemurian capital, there's danger of war, and it would be a better thing to, on one hand, make an alliance with Atlantis by a marriage to a second wife, Eve, and also weaponize Lemuria to be able to defend yourself against the forces in Atlantis that want war. So they did two things in one and the same go. One was weaponizing Lemuria, and the other one was basically displacing Sophia, the original best match of Adam, and replacing it by a black magic honey trap that was influencing him in their own way afterwards. So that is one part of the story, which is actually the fall of Adam into under the archonic influence. This is what is described as the story of Adam and Eve in the Paradise Garden with the snake coming in, and also in the Greek mythology you actually have the same history with opening the box of the Pandora. Also, you have like the artificial wife created for the important human and replacing his original wife. And it's all about deciding whether you want to go the way of technology or the way of spirituality. It's the same myth observed from a different angle. Just in Pandora's story, it involves the box. Now, if you look at the boxes, the biblical box and the Greek one are actually the same. If you look just on the description of the outer casing, you've got this acacia wood box with gold plating of defined sizes. And if you compare the Greek mythology and the Hebrew mythology, they have the same type of building with exactly the same length, height, and width. Also, the inner measures of the sarcophag in the big pyramid in Gizeh has the same sizes. So you can slowly kind of take all these mythologies that you have around, entangling them in a new way. And the story you get actually then is that one of these Atlantean devices, crystalline technology, quartz crystal, if you look at it from the side, it looks like a Star of David, was placed in a copy of Atlantean pyramid.
This is a representation of Pandora box.
Are erected in Egypt, was placed in the main chamber. And on top of that pyramid, you had the capstone, which according to Arabic tradition was of a material that was shining blue on certain days. This is exactly what alien black goo does. So this is kind of, I hope you can keep that all in mind. This is part of the story. Another part of the story is those 5 head high priests of Atlantis being tempted or directed to open a portal. To open a portal above Atlantis, knowing exactly the risk of destroying the continent, but it was kind of on behalf of their Archon masters, so they did it. And by opening the portal, they destroyed Atlantis and much of the Lemuric islands in the Pacific as well. And through the portal, there was coming in a meteorite shower. And these meteorites can be found all over the planet. They basically consist of a black oil stone. And if you extract the oil inside the stone, what you get is this alien type of black goo that carries a living consciousness that is completely mental in the full meaning of the, or in both full meanings of the word. So as an overall story, you have like an already infested Atlantean culture trying to go to war with the Lemuria, introducing alien black goo, which is actually the substance carrying the spirit or the mental field of Satan, or their master, their iconic master, infecting the rest of the world with their secondary planetary consciousness. To understand, black goo is black goo. It's a neutral term describing the liquid hosting a planetary spirit. Earth-type black goo is the seat of the soul of Gaia. Normally, each planet should have one soul. But like with the humans, when a human dies and he's not willing or not able to go into whatever he's meant to go into to reincarnate, then he might live on for a while as an attaching spirit, taking over the bodies of other people. This happens on human level, and it as well happens on planetary level. If a planet self-destroys because the species living there goes completely gaga, then the spirit of the planet might go back to source and reincarnate into a newborn planetary system, or it might decide, oh no, the trauma is so bad, I don't want to go through that process of integrating my experience. So I'd rather try to survive on the material plane, and once my planet is gone, I'll take over other planets. This is what happens on planetary level as well. So the seat of the consciousness is the black goo, and in a natural planetary system, the memory, both 3D physical background and memory, or main line of reality is hosted in, or what you call a matrix, is hosted on crystalline memory. You can imagine if in a planet you've got growing crystals from fluids or out of lava, every layer of crystal that is built up basically in the moment of freezing stores the momentary consciousness field.
Okay. Let's continue. Now we are going to let you see. We are going to talk about a few information that I found regarding natural remedy. For example, lymph therapy, also known as lymphatic drainage. We can use geranium oil as a top choice due to lymph stimulating anti-inflammatory property. Citrus oil, thyme oils, clove oils, eucalyptus oil, which also support the lymphatic flow and reduce swelling. Clove oil, okay. Jojoba oil, coconut oil, hemp oil. So these are good for lymphatic system. Let's see another subject, another alternative treatment. Cinnamon and honey. It's a miracle mix, good for cancer, arthritis, heart disease, bladder infection, fatigue, toothache, upset stomach, immune system, skin infection. So you mix them and just eat them. Okay. Cancer treatment. So for this, at one point for this this blog, actually the entire blog was blocked for a while. Then it was let open again. So cancer cell die in 42 days with the following combination: 300 grams of beets, 100 grams of carrots, celery root, 70 grams of fresh potato juice, and 30 grams of radish. So cure is recommended for drinking only tea, juices, and prepare this recipe for 42 days. Now another natural remedies. Okay, let's reduce this one. For cough, colds, red onion, garlic, honey. You combine them. This is for cough, colds, lungs. So red onion, garlic, and honey. Yeah, 1 red onion, 3 for garlic cloves, half cup of raw honey, and small jar for storage. So let's see other natural recipes. Cucumber, I cannot make it larger. Cucumber, mint, coconut water, and lime juice for sleep. Headache, watermelon, spinach, mint, lime juice. For immunity, orange, ginger, carrot, turmeric, and pepper. Turmeric and pepper, this combination increase the potentiality for turmeric, pepper, increase the effects of the turmeric. So ginger, carrot, turmeric, orange. For sinus, carrot, green apple, orange, ginger. For clear skin, orange, carrot, turmeric, matcha, and pepper. For gut, papaya, apple, prune, and chia seed. Natural remedy. Okay, I have another one, anti-inflammatory. 7 teaspoons of honey, turmeric, ginger, and black pepper. Take 1 teaspoon per day on an empty stomach. So I mix them. I keep them in a jar, and it's a half of jar. It's not. It's this quantity is not a lot of quantity, but it's enough for few weeks. So 7 teaspoons of honey, because when you mix the quantity, it's more than 7 teaspoons of honey, no? 1 teaspoon of turmeric, 1 teaspoon of ginger, 1 pinch of black pepper. Okay. And let's see another recipe, a detoxifiant, 1 carrot, 2 apple, 2 lemons, 1 liter of water. Sometimes I link to the, not always, to the source. So these are information I found on internet. Some I use, and I feel that they are useful. So I share them because it's easy for me to create these blogs. And they are useful. They are really good. Those that I use, they do whatever the source is saying that it does. Rhododendron leaf, particularly those species of Rhododendron dauricum, a rusty-leaved rhododendron, have the traditional use in folk medicine for various ailments, including fever, cough, asthma, rheumatism, due to their potential antioxidant, anti-inflammatory property. It is crucial to note that some rhododendron are poisonous, and their use should be approached with caution. Traditional use of rhododendron leaves are fever, cough, respiratory issue. Dry leaves of rhododendron have been used to treat fever, cough, asthma, bronchitis, sore throat. Pain relief. The plant is used to relieve pain associated with gut, muscle, and joint pain, rheumatism, nerve pain, neuralgia, sciatica, and headache. Other traditional uses, rhododendron leaves and other parts have been used traditionally to treat dysentery, diabetes, cancer, hypertension, indigestion, and lung infection. So consider this blog just an introduction to your further research. And if it seems good for you, you can try it. If it has negative effects, just stop using it. Use it in small doses, okay, initially. Potential benefits based on traditional uses and research: antioxidant activity, anti-inflammatory property, okay, let's go to the next subject, healing property of magnetism. It is a question if the ancient know the healing property of magnetism. South of Paris, Chartres Cathedral, it's on the floor of this cathedral, there is a mysterious labyrinth that have been visited by pilgrims for centuries. Was completed in 1220. So 800 years later, in 2020, we have Schumann resonators that function optimally using the same design. Schumann resonators are devices that produce electromagnetic radiation at 7.83 Hertz. This is the frequency of the Earth, that Earth resonates. And when the Earth is struck by lightning, it is common frequency when your brain function optimum. If you are in sync with Earth frequency or Schumann resonance, we begin to exhibit, if we are not in sync with Earth, we have a sign of discomfort that are from insomnia, illness. Okay. Immune suppression. So lately, the Schumann resonance have been fluctuating. That's why a lot of people feel unease. Modern electromagnetic, there are modern electromagnetic healing machines. And magnetism was known in ancient times. In ancient Greece, Thales of Miletus in ancient Greece, 6th century BC. Anatolia was known, the effects of magnetism was known. In this article, there are information about ley line, the electromagnetic fields of Earth, the straight fault line in the Earth tectonic plate are a scientific fact. They are emitting powerful energy. Native American knew about them. Shamans will use the energy to communicate with their ancestors. The ancient Eastern civilization knew them as dragon lines, as the sky gods would fly along the lines in their dragon ships. They build structure at the intersection of these ley lines. So I talk about the Templars that knew about these ley lines, about sound healings technology known and used in churches. So this is an interesting blog to visit. Now, I listened this month to that David Wilcock podcast, he talks for 5 hours. And he talks about time, space.
That is another big level of the
pyramid. And I highly recommend his video and his podcast.
Mystery that has now been solved.
He's one of the most prolific researcher that I follow.
It is a unified science of the geometry that is caused when you vibrate a fluid. That geometry is the basis of the time portals, right? Because again, Ivan Sanderson said, where are all the ships disappearing? Oh, it's an icosahedron. Why is that? Well, because it's a multidimensional geometry. It's a multidimensional geometry that makes the mountain ranges on Earth. It makes the atoms and molecules in our reality. And it also has little orbs that rise off of it. They rise vertically. The pyramids are capturing them.
So if you are interested in the science of time, space, pyramid, and sacred geometry, this is the video that explains. We might understand part of it, we might understand some of it, but it's an eye-opening research and presentation done by David Wilcock. And I think this information should be in every school around the world. Then we go to the books that I'm reading, and I finished reading since our last presentation. I'm reading now the Mystery of Egypt, the first tunnel, by Radu, Cynnamar, and Peter Moon. Radu Cynnamar has a set of 5 or 7 books collected in a series called the Transylvania Sunrise, which describe the greatest archaeological find of all time, a hidden chamber some 50,000 years old beneath the Romanian Sphinx in the Bucegi Mountain. This chamber includes a holographic technology with a visual data bank of infinite DNA permutation in addition to the 3 tunnels. One leading the ground penetrating radar of American technology position over the Bucegi Mountain figured it out that there is a cavity under the Bucegi Mountain. That cavity is protected by an electromagnetic field, and only certain people can access that field. The discovery was hidden to the public because of a person from Italy from the Masonic group, I guess. But Radu Cynnamar actually published the books about this research with the help of Peter Moon. Peter Moon was a person, an author involved in the Montauk project in United States. From this cavity, there are apparently 3 tunnels. One is going to Giza, Egypt. Another one is going to Tibet, through Iraq, Tibet, so it reaches Tibet, and another one goes from that point to the inner earth. So the theory is that the earth is different from what we learned. The earth has an interior sun and has a it looks like a toroid, and inside the toroid it's empty. In the crust of this toroid, so we live on the exterior part of this crust, and in the interior side of this crust, there is another civilization. And this civilization has people, has oceans, has lakes, land mass, and that civilization, it's a very advanced civilization. So from this point in Uchej Mountain, there is a tunnel that goes to the interior of the earth. There are other points from my other reading around the earth that connects to the inner earth civilization. They are advanced, they live long lives, and they have apparently some sort of flying devices that we see from time to time in our sky. We think that they are from outer space. Some might be from outer space, but some are from the interior of the earth. Also, in the crust of the earth, apparently there are caverns, and these caverns are so large as an entire city, sometimes an entire region can fit in these large caverns, and there are human beings, again, with advanced technology that lived in peace for a lot of times. Apparently, there are also that are very positive, and there is a lot of information that needs to be public. And we were kept in darkness of information. So, okay, so this is the mystery of Egypt. Another book that I just finished is Valiant, or Book of Garuda, the Celestial Bird. You saw the 2 blogs entry that I recorded. And another one is To Men of Earth, Valiant, or Message of Hope to Mankind by Daniel Fry. This is a talking book. I listened to this book. Now we go to another subject. Okay, we saw this. Another subject, Disclosure Project, Intelligence Archive. So these are external links that I saw this last month. The website belongs to Stephen Greer, and he talks about different subjects related to information that was long hidden from the public, and he has a lot of information regarding life, intelligent life that was hidden by the present powers from the mass media. by the mass media. So he talks how he got to have this website, and for how long he has collecting data that is presented now to the public. It's a free, you can access it for free. You just have to register with an email and a name. Another very good source of information and another truth researcher is Tori Say, a Rumble channel, extremely smart girl that has, I think, almost daily podcast, and I hear about her a while ago, but when I start listening to her video, they make sense. They make sense, and I like to share the link of her video. So she has so much information that some people actually created a searchable database with her video translated to text that you can search within her video the information that she's presenting. So it's I highly recommend her presentation, and we are now in a research for the truth that was hidden from us for a long time, and from the history to science, to a real form of the earth, to what is out there. So let's continue now. So she's one of the researcher that present the truth to the best of her ability. More websites, good websites that I found. It's Windy that it's presenting the weather and radar. So if you go to see, let's see if we can have a radar information about what is happening in our sky. I will just leave the link. So let's share a little bit. I did present this website before. So in the menu, you can see the weather radar. And you can see you can find a lot of information. So look here, this circle, why is this circle here? And you can ask yourself a lot of questions. And this Windy, it's free. It's a free website. Probably has a part where you can pay, but you can find a lot of information that it's free, and sometimes it's kind of scary. You can see the temperature, rain and thunder. The radar is, and you can also see the level of pollen, of pollution. If you go to the menu, weather warning, this is the pollution. So you see the pollution is where the large city are located. So New York, Toronto, and they have a camera associated with the weather. You can see the prediction, the prognosis of the weather, the dust. Where is this dust coming from? From the sea. Extreme forecast, medium clouds, low clouds, high clouds. Okay, there are entire YouTube channels that are following the weather on a regular basis and following this website. Okay, let's continue a little. Continue with other information. So Project Camelot, we spoke before about Project Camelot, very good. And I feel truthful information. Highly recommend Kerry Cassidy, David Wilcock, highly recommended. It's a very, I read actually one of his books, and it's filled with research, good information, and I'm very impressed with David Wilcock. That's for a real, it's incredible researcher and scientist, I can say. These are my books. I'm working now on extreme unknown history, extremely ancient history from unconventional sources. So these are the books that I wrote so far, but now I'm at the 14th book. I have a few websites. Mathematics Magazine, a website with my books, another one with my blogs. I'm on Telegram, Rumble, Odyssey, YouTube, Instagram, Amazon. Not all my books are on Amazon. I think only 9 books are on Amazon. So this was my presentation for today for the latest links. I'm Liliana Usvat. Today is April 28, 2025. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.